I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. How the heck is everybody?
Good, Kevin.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You gonna, on a Thursday, does a Kevin Ralston maybe get into a little tequila? Does he have a nightcap of sorts?
Yeah, I mean, I'll dabble. I'm one of those people that I typically will have a little bit here or there, you know. It's a way to just kind of like mellow, but I'm such a pussy with it where it's like I'll have like a shot and just kind of sip that, and that'd be good. That's it. Yeah.
What is that like, self-control? I've been searching for it for a long time.
I typically just want to chill. I mean, it's every now and then we get a little turnt, but yeah, it's usually pretty.
That Atoll vodka,
check.
you can actually put it on the rocks and sip it.
Yeah.
I have never had a vodka that you can sip on the
either.
rocks.
Oddly enough, I don't like the taste of vodka. I mean, I drink a good bit of vodka, but I'm always mixing it with something, so I don't taste the vodka.
Right.
But yeah, the Atoll's the only one I think I've ever drank and not been repulsed.
Atoll vodka made the KVJ horror movie. There's a part where it's delivered, you see the logo in there and everything.
I love it. Product placement, baby. Take care of the ones that take care of you.
It's good. I got my daughter Caitlin is in here.
Yeah,
and
she's awesome. I can't get to the camera. I only have her shoulder.
Yeah,
It's not the most appeasing looking shot.
she's gonna
Hey,
I'm
Caitlin.
gonna drag her into the game because yeah, there's something I think I can talk about here because the Queen never listens to the after the show.
Ooh, this sounds like it's going to get
Oh,
juicy,
Kevin,
and I am here for
It's
it.
dropping down to the key of secret voice.
It's a small little thing, but you know we do love Atoll, and you might remember when we did the first live show, we had the Atoll and Caitlin's big confession, and you know I was hitting out of the Atoll pretty
Because
hard.
you were shocked by the information shared.
Yes, it was
And
something.
You needed alcohol to numb the shock.
Yeah, it was for effect. It was fun, and Caitlin, she was drinking out of the same like Atoll bottle, and somebody took a photo. It was a great looking photo. I don't know who took it, but
I think it was from Atoll.
Was it Atoll that had taken it?
so.
Okay, so it was a great photo. And the Queen loved it. And so she got it all blown up. Like it's huge. And it looks great. I mean, it's a really cool looking photo. But I mean,
love it.
But it's a girl that's just drinking straight out of a vodka bottle.
That's my girl.
It's
so-
Caitlin to drink it out of the bottle?
Yeah, so this is how the Queen operates. Yeah, so Caitlin is she works as a nanny, and so a lot of times she's not around. She's with her family doing her job, and so her apartment in Lauderdale's wide open. And so when Caitlin's not there, the Queen's always got a mission. And so we had to go down. We had to drive all the way to Fort Lauderdale for one mission, and that mission was the Queen had to hang this big old photo up over Caitlin's TV. And so Caitlin comes back, and her apartment will be different. And here's this big old photo. She's like, it's kind of nice, but my friends look, and it's like I look like the biggest alcoholic because here I am just straight chugging out of a vodka bottle.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's nice. It just sits above my TV, but my TV is way smaller than it. So you automatically just look at me chugging this vodka bottle.
Yeah.
You walk in and go, wow, this is a girl who loves to drink.
Yeah, the girl gets after it.
Is there a way we can see the people are asking, can we see the photo? Is there any way to see it? Or
Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah, Cheyenne will post on her story and she'll like make fun of me all the time. So let me see.
So it's out there.
Yeah.
Cheyenne dives in bushes, okay? We're not going to make fun of Caitlin for swigging out the bottle. I mean, I like to swig out the bottle.
You also like getting in the bushes.
9 out of 10 of my bottles on my bar cart have lipstick on them, and I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
No, I love it, but I mean,
It is.
just-
It's a nice photo. But yeah, when Caitlin mentioned it, because I didn't think too much of it, and look, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just, ready to get to the bars that we're going to go to after that. So I'm like, all right, get this thing hung. And then, yeah, Caitlin's like, I don't know, it's just a little much. It's like,
No, I feel bad though. I can't.
I know. We don't say anything. You just kind of like, okay, it's all good. Yeah,
It's still there. So
yeah, it'll be there forever. So it's all good. I got an email here for you, Virginia, about Mags's roommate issue. She said, check to see if Mags is listed as a tenant on the lease. I
Yes.
moved in with a psycho roommate and immediately knew it wouldn't work. I called the leasing office explaining my problem, thinking I was SOL because I signed paperwork thinking I was on the lease with this person. The lady told me that my roommate, Nicole, and her mom were on the lease. she got the apartment prior to me moving in, but I was listed as a tenant on the lease, meaning I could move out anytime. And it was on this psycho and her mom to make the rent payments. So I literally packed up and I moved right out without her knowing, and I didn't have to talk to her ever again. I didn't pay a dime, and it never affected my credit.
Wow, you got lucky.
Yeah, she said, I'm hoping this is the case for Mags. You get away from those sadistic girls.
No, Virginia signed the lease. It's a year-long lease, and so I have to pay it.
So your name is on that shit. So
My name.
You are just
I am what they say on a contract. I am the guarantor.
I don't know if you've ever had that situation where you lived with a roommate and it became uncomfortable and you were at odds with them.
Yeah.
It really can fuck up everything in your personal life.
I totally
because
had that.
Just going to the kitchen to make a Hot Pocket now becomes this weird thing. You hear them in the kitchen, you're trying to avoid them. It sucks, man.
This gross bitch I lived with in 1994, she would use my plates and bowls in the kitchen to make her food, and then she would go in her room, eat her food, and then throw my dirty plates and bowl, my china. My everyday china, but still
the good stuff.
My good stuff. She would throw the dirty bowls and plates under her bed.
Oh, wow.
And then
yeah.
I'm like, where the hell is all my bowls? Where's my plates? Where's my cups? I broke in her room because I was like, this bitch is up to something. All of my dirty shit was under her bed. And I didn't want to embarrass this pig, so I didn't call her out. I didn't clean all my stuff out. I didn't call her out so loud like I should have.
Mm-hmm.
I just politely said to her when she came home, hey, all my stuff, my bowls, my plates, they're all missing. Please, can you put them back? I don't know where you put them, but please just put them back. I didn't tell her I broke into a room and saw them all.
Okay.
So
That bitch went and threw all the stuff my mom had bought me in the dumpster.
Damn.
Broke plates, broke glasses, broke bowls.
Okay, what situation's worse? Because that's pretty fucked up. And
It was so fucked
I had a
up.
situation with a roommate where it started off awful, but it was kind of, small. He would smoke in the apartment and then say we're talking full-on chain-smoking cigarettes, and you can't hide that in a small apartment.
Cannot.
And then lie about it, but you couldn't prove it because it was the mid-90s and you didn't have a lot of ways of proving things. And then he started to leave his dip spit cups around everywhere,
Yeah.
to the point where we go, dude, come on, it was spilling. And then one night it all came to a head because I drank out of his dip cup thinking it was soda, and it was dip spit. And when you think you're drinking Pepsi and you get full on dip spit,
We know how you chug.
exactly.
Did you say
Yeah.
dick spit?
Dip spit. I
Yeah.
did suck a stick that night too, but no,
You definitely want to get that pee in there.
no, it was awful. Yeah, and you're right. Some people chug differently than
You
others.
do.
I go in full gorilla, and
Yeah.
it's halfway down.
You're a hard drinker. I am too.
What's worse, gross dishy or smoky?
Yeah, the
dippy?
smoky, we had the dip spit problem too. I had in college, one of my roommates was real prim proper. He was a frat boy. He called himself Stal for Italian Stallion.
That's so awesomely awful.
I love this guy.
So you had strong, energy on that side.
How did
And-
he talk? But was he very? Was
No,
he?
he was normal and talk
Okay.
and all that. But yeah, the style routine we made fun of him a lot for that. So the other guy was a slobby kind of dude, dip spit, all that kind of stuff. And he would leave the spittoons around, and Stal spilled one on him. Stal took all the dip spit and all the cups, and he took them all and dumped them in his bed.
Dang.
And it was a knockdown drag out.
That's what ended up happening in our situation. Me and the other roommate turned on Dippy, the Dippy guy who was always smoking. So we would start taking his frozen food, and then we would tuck it into his bed. So when he's all drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
he'd get in there, and it would just be nothing but frozen peas and carrots.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, this is war. We didn't want this war.
Our dippy guy would pour his when he finally got the message, he would then just pour them over the dishes in the sink and leave that.
Oh,
That's gnarly.
I remember going in there one time, we had flies.
he is an animal.
It was rough. So I mean, roommate stories in college are nightmarish.
You're
Flies-
right. They're all. Everybody's got one.
Flies
Yeah.
in sync equal depression.
It was rough. Yeah. It was pretty rough. Well, if you ever try to bring a girl over and you got flies over your sink, it's just
disgusting.
Yeah, it really was.
Oh, that doesn't get you going?
Yeah, that wasn't working.
Your flies make me wet.
Yeah. Said no one ever.
Got one of our KVJ friends sent an email, and I cannot use her name because she has signed an NDA, so I'm not going to use her name for that.
This is going to get juicy.
Well, it has to do with her just kind of, I guess, taking the initiative. She said, I heard Kevin say for years that about $75K is what you need to make, a living enough to be happy and comfortable. And, those things are changing. That might be an old number now. But, she went and she negotiated a job working 3 nights a week, 12-hour shifts, making the $75K a year. And she hit that mark last March. And it sounds like she works with somebody. She said, my bosses are very wealthy, and when they're not in town, I don't have to work, and I still get paid. And they asked me to move to the 40-hour week role. And I was like, well, the commute's going to be pretty far, but they had a residence. It was just sitting open. So I asked them if I could just stay there. And they're like, yeah, okay. And now I get to stay in this pretty awesome place. It's a $2 million home. I pay $2,500 a month rent, which I'm like, that's pretty sweet, huh?
Wow.
So she said, just hearing you talk about that, you kind of, she said, I'm very timid. I wouldn't typically ask for that. But if you don't ask for something, you don't get it.
You never get the money you don't ask for. You never get the gifts you don't ask for. You never get the blessings from your employer that you don't ask for. Now, don't be stupid. You got to know your value.
Yes.
And you can't come in and ask for $1 million to work the counter at McDonald's.
No,
Yeah.
but on your deathbed, you're going to be happy you made those
Exactly.
decisions.
And most bosses will be like, okay, this guy's got gumption. This girl's got some balls.
But you're right, though. Being self-aware does help.
Be
But
self-aware.
If you're a legit great worker and you haven't got your shine yet, and you really do think take your shot.
Think about how much money you make for the company when you work. What are you making them? If you know what those numbers are, then that'll tell you your worth.
Yeah, I think it is just really the moral of that email is just, knowing when to shoot your shot and having the courage to do it. And also, too, brings up to me, I just wonder, because, there's so many, rich people houses and things like that. And they don't ever seem to Airbnb them. They just kind of chill and sit
They don't
open.
want the commoners in there.
Yeah, I guess it probably brings up liability issues.
We
or
bring
something
street
like that.
fleas.
Yeah, but I just wonder, You're about some of these people, and you go around and so many houses and, nice neighborhoods and fancy little communities, they just sit open so much.
You're right. Over on Palm Beach, there's a lot of them. That it looks like they're active, but
Right.
there's it's like a Wonka factory.
Well, and probably the whole squatter thing doesn't help because most people probably wouldn't want somebody in there because they try that little switcheroo where they try to say that because they get an electric bill there that they're actually the resident. Now you can't get rid of them.
I feel like if you're trying to squat in Palm Beach over on the island, the lawyers and the kind of power they've got, good luck, squatter.
You
Good fucking
wouldn't
luck.
last.
No, I think they'd end up
Yeah.
murdering you, and then you would never see the body again.
Yeah,
They
I've
had
always
the
kind of
secret-
wondered. Yeah, if I ever talked to a rich person that has places that sit open, I'd just be kind of curious. Be like, why don't you Airbnb that or let anybody else stay there? It just sits there empty. And
Because they don't want to deal with squatters.
And they don't.
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
if you got that kind of money and you don't really need anything, why would you have people in there? Because
People only break your shit.
they're only going to break your shit
probably.
and devalue
It only
your
creates
property.
problems I don't need.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
I know a lot of people that had rental properties, and then they're so happy when they sell that rental property and they no longer have to deal with being a landlord.
Well, even if you're trying to be a cool tenant, let's say you got one person in the house that gets drunk and then fucks up the window. Like that stuff happens when you let people in your house. Believe me, I know. People throw up on your wall, Kevin.
Your friend Denny's
Heard
pukes
about
on
that.
every rug you have.
Why do all my friends throw up on everything I own at my house?
Yeah. Why are your friends so barfy?
Well, Virginia threw up on my wall and then bounced out and brought 20 people from England to my party. And then she left, and then I deal with the people I didn't know, which is very comfortable, Kevin.
And they were critiquing the party because when they're
fun.
from, they don't really do Halloween. They're like, "What is this?"
Well, they were mad I couldn't get my fucking cappuccino at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
They're
And
like,
then
"We want a coffee," and he's like, "What?"
I fake looked for it too, and I knew I didn't have it. I'm like, yes, I'll be right back. I'm like, I don't have coffee. What am I doing? Why am I lying to these people? And act like I mimicked the whole thing, like looking through for coffee, and I knew I didn't have it.
What have you ever had coffee.
Not once.
T-Conk in the chat room said that people with higher-end homes will rent them through an expensive agency. It's kind of like an Airbnb, but for high-end homes.
Yeah, I'm sure some people do it.
Well, I know, like, for instance, like some people do that with their yachts and whatever, where you can pay an ass load of money and, so they'll
Yeah.
have that kind of stuff. They put it, like, in a boat club because, they're not going to be on it all the time.
Exactly.
If you go to, like, the Palm Beach Boat Show, they have stuff like that. They'll have people's high-end yachts that you can rent. Be like, yeah, you can rent this out, take it out for just $300,000 a day.
But please do not pork
Yeah,
on my boat.
No.
I think
if I pay $300,000 a day, I'm porking on every inch of your boat.
on the anchor, on
I'm porking the anchor.
the deck. Yeah, exactly. We're porking on the captain.
I'm porking the captain.
Wow. There
Brace
you go.
yourself, sir. I'm coming in hot.
$300,000. We're 69 in.
Yeah, Anna said it's kind of like having a plane. You charter it out. My clients do that for their plane. They have their own plane, so they rent it out.
I bet.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
It is.
But you would see that at the clubs I would go to, that I used to work to. There was the cool rich people that I think would rent out their house, and then there's a type of rich person that just hates people and they want just to hold their money.
Yeah.
And
There's a bunch of poor people like that too.
you're right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I know some poor motherfuckers that hate people.
Yeah, it's not a great combo.
Got some emails the last couple of days about people that have worked at Mar-a-Lago and whatnot about the whole assessment fight that is going on. That
I
McDonald's
like
taking on.
insiders, people that have worked there sharing their inside information.
Yeah, and Karen had said, yeah, my neighbor is an insurance adjuster, and he was called to Mar-a-Lago once to take insurance claims after a hurricane did some damage. He had a bunch of crazy stories, but the one I remember is when he tried to put a value on some roof damage that happened to Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump had told him that it wasn't just any old roof, that the barrel tile roof was made by a company in South America that employed young women to mold each tile on their bare thighs.
What?
So each and every tile was handmade and was one of a kind, and that's just the roof. What weird shit is that? You got like naked chicks from the waist down, and they're hand making the tiles on their thighs?
That tile is
What?
one of one. That tile is one of one.
What? Come on, what?
Really? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't make sense except that it's Donald Trump, so it makes sense.
What kind of weird shit is that you say?
What is that?
Huh.
What? Yeah, you're right, huh? That's a business?
It certainly would make them more valuable.
They're all legit
But
one of one.
Wouldn't all their thighs be different sizes? So every tile would be different? I don't get this.
Maybe that's what makes it unique.
Maybe all the thighs had to be the same size.
What?
Size matters.
That's the only way you could make that story weirder is if every thigh had to be the same size thigh.
Well, they'd have to be so the tiles can lay properly.
A comment in the chat room said maybe it's just Donald telling a joke. I would think anybody else, yes, but not him. Like, that's not his style. He wouldn't be joking.
On a property assessment, he's joking?
Yeah, he's not the kind of person that would, tell a joke like that and just kind of like let it sit.
I don't think you tell
It doesn't
that
feel like
to the
he's-
guy assessing your roof.
Yeah, I think he does. Some of the things he says is funny, but I don't think that's his style of humor.
You don't think he trolls people?
Not in that way. I don't think that would be his. Yeah, I don't think he jokes that way. Like his when he's funny, it's when he does rattle off a couple digs at people that are sometimes amusing, but
I
that's
want to
not
look
his
at the
style
roof.
of comedy.
We should look closely at the Mar-a-Lago roof.
Yeah,
I want to see.
Nurse Schmidt said, yeah, he doesn't troll. He just blurts what's in his head, and yeah, sometimes what's in his head is funny, but yeah, I got to know that now. That can't be a thing. That's crazy. Man. Young naked women making tiles on their bare thighs.
20,000 of those tiles that make up the Mar-a-Lago roof.
All of them are unique. All
That's
different.
insane if they're all made over the thighs of young Italian women.
Where's that story coming from?
It was from one of our listeners. Their neighbor was an insurance adjuster, and they had to go over and do some quotes on Mar-a-Lago. So, who knows? You never know. Those are the kind of weird stories you get out of Palm Beach, though, and you're like, there's no way. I remember when the stories were coming out about like them sex mansions and all that stuff, and I think that was right before the Jeffrey Epstein stuff broke.
I remember
and
that.
People would call and be like, it was like Eyes Wide Shut, that Tom Cruise movie. And I'm like, nah.
I
Never
knew
believed
somebody. I went to this house one time, and this is back when we first moved here. This house, they said back then it was like $15,000 or $20,000 a month, which now seems low for an oceanfront mansion
Yeah,
to
you pay that.
rent
Honestly,
per
you
month.
pay that a night.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally now. But back then, it was like 20 grand a month this guy was paying to rent this oceanfront mansion.
Still pretty fucking expensive.
And he would bring a bunch of strippers from the strip club back to the mansion and pay each of them like $1,000 or $2,000. And he would just have a wild sex party with all these girls in this house. And I went to the house. It was a pretty cool house, but I never saw any of the sex parties.
That's what that's what they said about the Eagles, and I don't know how accurate the story was, and I think that's why Don Henley got so mad. One of the guys did a tell-all book, and he would buy a bunch of hookers and buy a bunch of blow, and just like for the day, and then have all the hookers, like 5 of them, like bent over with cocaine.
Wow. Yeah.
And I forgot Caitlin's in here. That's
I mean, she's 25.
I know,
so.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And he would just kind of have sex with all of them, but not come, and then kind of go back, do more cocaine, like edge with all of the hookers, and then do more blow, and then lay back and just kind of watch them. And
Rock and roll, man.
It was kind of like those kind of sex parties. I'm sure when you have all that kind of money and you got drugs aflowing,
Yeah,
weird
right.
shit starts to happen. Now, I
Yeah.
wasn't in the room. Obviously, I don't know if that's alleged. I know Don Henley likes to sue people.
I think it's like the people that have the money and then they're in that untouchable society. I haven't really followed the story too much, but there's that one dude that just had to resign from like the center or something like that. That Bob Mendez guy is coming out that I think it was like his girl. She like hit somebody in the car and killed him, and they just kind of like covered that up. And she got like a $60,000 Mercedes, and it's just crazy. Like those kind of things where it's like, wow, man, the power and the money of these people, and they live a different life, man.
They do, and I think sometimes
They look at all us like, we're their puppets.
Well, think about it too. If you have all that money and then you've got this other side to you that is a little bit carnal or squirrely.
Right, yeah.
Not all rich people are like that, but the ones that are, they get bored.
Well,
they
it brings
wanna
out the
chase that
darkness.
high.
Yeah, it's whatever you feed. I mean, that's what life is. And so when you got money and you're feeding the demons that you got inside of you, those demons just get bigger and louder.
You can always buy a ton of demons when you got money, and if you're into that kind of
Demons
stuff,
love money.
well, just the stuff, the pleasures of the world. When you have a ton of money,
Right.
you can buy anything you want like that. And I
Yeah.
think for some people, it could turn them dark.
It's crazy
Oh,
stuff, man.
definitely. The guy that I'm talking about that had that pad, he did lots of drugs and he did lots of strippers, and he was only there for a few months on Palm Beach. Like he had a wife and a family in another state. And he eventually kind of went a little crazy because I think he did too many drugs. And he had to go back home to where he was from. And I think they said they put him on a 5150 hold.
Yeah, it's all that stuff. Again,
You can really do too much drugs and mess yourself up permanently.
people are saying the Don Henley party sound like an elevated party. Again, that's allegedly.
For Don,
People I don't know if that story's true, Bert.
it's not so elevated for the girls that had to stand there with their asses
I
out.
think he probably paid them handsomely.
It's never enough. It's so degrading. You got to stand there with your ass out while this old man puts cocaine on your butt cheek.
This
and
was
then,
the 80s. He wasn't old yet. Probably 70s, honestly. And again, I want to reiterate, I don't know that story for a fact.
It's a great story.
I mean, yeah, real or fake, it's a great story.
Speaking of demons, Becky wants to know about Vlad. I remember Jaybird talking about his possessed doll and said that he got him from this guy that was all freaked out and really wanted to get rid of him. I'm just wondering why he made Jaybird pay for him in the first place and didn't just give him away. You would think the goal would be just to get rid of him. Just wondering your thoughts on that.
Because I think he probably knew what he was doing. I think he probably was trying to get money off of me. But in my opinion, it was $75. We'd already talked about it so much. Mm-hmm. For $75, we're still talking about Vlad 2 months later. It was worth every penny, in my opinion.
And you love stuff like this.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I really do. And we're getting Weird and Whatever coming back, and I want to do a whole whole topic and a whole thing about possessed dolls, and do people really believe in that stuff? Can that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Do you legit believe a doll can become possessed?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do believe in that.
Caitlin,
kind of
do you
stuff.
believe that a doll can become possessed with spirit?
Yeah, I don't like to get into any of that. It's not my.
Not your thing. Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
I get
say.
scared.
She got a Jesus tattoo on her neck. She don't fuck with the
That's
devil.
why. Yeah. That's why, yeah.
No.
Yeah, Prince said that Annabelle and Robert the doll. Yeah, I think it could. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like Caitlin. I'd probably put that fear in her. Yeah, we don't mess with that
I'd
stuff.
buy Robert the doll if I could.
Why?
His life's not going bad enough.
I'm in my fucking prime. I'm crushing it.
There's so many people that are afraid of Robert the doll, and you want to own it.
I would love to own Robert the doll. I would love to own that.
I don't think you got enough money. I think that thing would be so expensive.
They would make you. Yeah, there's no way I would
wouldn't
ever
be
be able to
cheap.
get that.
It's like a legendary thing.
Can you imagine if Jaybird had the kind of money we were talking about? Instead of like hookers and blow, he'd have all weird dolls.
Well, when we win the Powerball and we split it 5 ways, he will have that money.
He'd have Annabelle. He would have all these possessed dolls. He'd have Robert. He'd have dogs that would be possessed. They'd have red glowing eyes.
He'd be that old man doing weird shit.
I would be getting some. I'm sorry. I know it's cliche. I get dinosaur bones.
Yeah. He would be our Nicolas Cage.
I would absolutely.
He would actually, at the end of it all, you'd forget about Nicolas Cage and you'd talk about, look at all the stupid shit this guy bought. You'd put him to shame.
I would love it. Gosh. Now, people keep sending me that email with the new Home Depot.
Yeah.
I have the 9.5-foot werewolf. There's the 11-foot skeleton now that's out there. So
I've
people keep
seen
sending
it.
that in over and over again. I just want to address that.
Okay.
Because
Talking about buying expensive, stupid shit.
I think Denny's printed off 30 of those emails.
I saw that.
Are you
yeah.
going to get it?
We'll see.
That's a yes.
Okay.
It's probably already purchased.
It's not purchased yet, but I'm working on an alien thing. I'm working on Alien Avenue right now.
Alien Avenue. Okay. Sammy said, I heard you guys talking about having your own action figures, and I couldn't help but pull this baby off the shelf and share it with you. Apparently in Key West, it only takes a couple $100 and a strong buzz, and you too can have this type of horrifying sculpture arrive in the mail 3 weeks later.
Oh my
Look at that.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's
Key
fucking,
West.
that's horrifying.
Yeah, it's her in his arms. And it's like, it looks almost like a photo of them, but it doesn't. It's a little, it says Key West 2022.
That
What
looks
is
like
that?
a photo.
It does. It's weird. Look at that. And that's like a doll now.
That is
Or a
weird,
statue,
man.
I guess. That is. Huh. Caitlin, you're going to Key West. Is it next weekend?
Yeah, next Friday.
I love Key West.
I'm so excited.
Oh, I had so much fun there for my birthday. Where y'all going? Where you staying?
I think we're staying on Duval in
I
a hotel
love
on
it.
Duval.
Okay, that's so prime.
Then we do the golf carts. We do it right.
I love that.
Yes, I'm excited.
There's Oh, go ahead, Caitlin.
Well,
So-
we rented mopeds, and one year I flew off of one. So yeah, we stay away from the.
Okay, so you keep.
Golf
do
cart
golf cart.
is safer. Do they have seatbelts?
Never checked. I don't know.
There's a breakfast place I think you should try out, and of course, I can't find the name. I will send it to Kevin. He'll give it to you probably 3 weeks after you come back from Key West.
Go to damn it. What's the Bill Murray designed this bar?
Is it Caddyshack?
It's not. It's
Okay.
oh damn it. Somebody will think of it in the chat room and tell us.
We're good, Kevin.
Yeah.
This is who you linked up
Virginia
with.
and Jaybird's list of places you need to go, but we don't have the name.
I'm in Key West. Ugh. I'm not really absorbing anything but alcohol. So like information, nah.
I want to tell you about this great hotel. It had a great bar. I don't know the name of it. It's on a street. There was trees by it. A beach.
And it's in Key West.
Yes.
I'll think of the name. Hold on.
I will too. I'm working on it, Caitlin.
Okay.
All right. So you'll have a lot of suggestions here.
Yes.
Okay.
General Horseplay.
Okay.
It's in Key West. It's a fantastic bar.
That's like your favorite.
I love it.
It is.
It's so fun and it's dark and
Now,
cold.
Is it his or it just pays homage to him?
I want to say he helped design it. If you Google Bill Murray Key West Bar, it immediately comes up. General Horseplay in Key West is the
Okay.
name of it. And it is such a fun place.
The place I'm talking about, I mean, putting on the grits, my friend. These grits were amazing, almost as good as Virginia's grits.
Stand down.
It's called Firefly.
Firefly. Okay.
It is delicious, Caitlin. Highly recommended.
Firefly and General Horseplay.
Okay. Yeah, the Hurricane is like one of the drinks you can get at General Horseplay. It's got Bill Murray on the glasses and all that. Somebody said it's near Caroline Street, across the street from Kenny Chesney's old white framed house.
And this just in, Firefly is no longer open. Never mind. So, Caitlin, it's
Solid tour.
It was good.
Was it though? If it's closed?
Yes, you're right.
Maybe not. Alan sent an email. He said, hey, I'm flying out this afternoon to Ohio for the first time to go watch the Ohio State Buckeyes on Saturday. Any recommendations of places or pubs to check out? The Varsity Club is one of the good spots. It's close to the stadium. Game day, it's absolutely insane. There's a hotel there called the Blackwell. And that's where all the players stay there the night before, and a lot of the players' parents will be in the lobby and hanging out there. The team comes in there Friday night, and people will stand out front and watch the team come into the hotel. And then the Varsity Club is just right up the street from that. So that's a good, solid place to go. High Street's awesome. They got a big Buffalo Wild Wings, and you can just walk up and down High Street.
Okay.
Get you further away from the stadium. That I would do for more separate bar hopping. But yeah, Varsity Club is the place to go. That's where we always go when I'm up there. Also, are all Buckeye fans psycho like my friends? Yes, they are. They are planning to start tailgating at 5 a.m. on Saturday, which sounds insane to me since we're all in our 40s. We're not young bucks anymore. They are insane. Ohio people drink a ton.
Oh, they're going to get that red beer alcohol face by
They
1
do.
p.
It matches their red hoodies that they all wear.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely going to be at least 2 fights.
Yeah, the tailgating, they typically start tailgating a good minimum of 7 to 10 hours before any game, and that's a noon game that you got on Saturday.
That is such a recipe of just fighting and going to jail.
Honestly, they don't fight a lot. Ohio, that's the one thing about Ohio people. They're pretty mellow, so I don't remember a ton of fighting ever at any Buckeye games that I've gone to. They do drink their faces off, but there's not a lot of fighting. If I survive this Ohio trip, I'm taking an early flight back to make it to the Finns game. That should
Oh,
be a great
wow.
weekend with a ton of beer.
You got all kind of fun and
That's
frivolity.
amazing. Yeah, if you're doing the Buckeye game on Saturday and then the Finns on Sunday, that's my ideal weekend right there. That's fantastic. Good for you. So yeah, Alan, you'll have a good time. They got a lot of good breweries there, and so they got German Village, probably a good place
Where's
to
that
check
close
out.
to? What's like the big thing that's close to?
It's kind of like downtown, and Thurman's. You should check that out. Thurman's is kind of like the little place, the burger there. Thurman's Burger are famous for that, and they're also a place where they're really known for their cinnamon roll. Ooh, yeah, it's on the list. If you go to,
She likes a sticky bun.
if you go to kvjshow.com, Denny's has my list. I got a Columbus map up there, so that'll help you. But those are the couple places I would say that you should go to. And Easton is a nice outdoor shopping center.
Oh, you got me thinking about those Cinnabons, man. That is a snack or a little dessert thingy that is so many calories,
They love
but
cinnamon
so
rolls there.
delicious.
Yeah, they do. They do a lot of fatty food.
Question: if I have a list of all my favorite places in New Orleans, is it possible to like just plug that into a map and then have it show all the places, or do I have to go in and designate each one to make a map?
Well, what I did, I went in, and I designated them all. In fact, on the New Orleans map, which we have up there, you had sent me the list, and I added all those in.
Wow, you added them one by one?
I did, because I'm anal like that.
I've added probably about 50 restaurants to that list since I gave it to you.
All right, well then, yeah, I'll go in. I mean, I'll just block off about 5 hours. And I got nothing going on.
I'll throw a couple places that serve the Cinnabon as well. Just
That are closed.
Go to the Firefly, kids.
I got a couple closed restaurants you could add to that list.
All of our restaurants that are fucking gone.
Michigan Mike in the chat room said, I'm going to be at the Michigan-Ohio State game this year, Kev. All right. I think
Wow.
that is our plan. I think we're going to be there as well. So we'll have to rally with Michigan Mike, because I don't know though. I can't add another Michigan person to the crew because I am outnumbered. Yeah, we're talking about hopefully. Caitlin and I are trying to see. You know, Caitlin's the asset. She's the most influential person with the Queen, and so we're trying to get that set up. The Queen's got to pull the trigger on it though, so we're rallying.
I'm trying.
Getting
Putting the
everybody
word in
together.
there.
Push.
We want to do the
Trying.
road trip from here and then hit all the cities on
I
the way up
love it.
through. Yeah, swing by and either pick up Colin or see him in Nashville, go up through and see my dad in Ohio, and then up for the Michigan-Ohio State game.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. That's the week of Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's when they do it. So, yeah, we
That's
take
fun.
And we found out too, Caitlin, aka Worm from the KVJ horror movie, she's gonna be at the premiere.
Okay.
Gonna need lots of booze.
Are you going to
'cause-
walk the red carpet?
Oh, I don't know. It depends how many people are there.
I was
A
gonna have
lot.
you on the panel.
There's going to be 700 plus people there. The whole theater sold out.
Wow.
We just edited her part the other day.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, her brother's in it. Cannon's
Yep.
in it as well. Yeah.
Worm.
Rocco's in it.
Yep.
Are kids allowed to go? Is Cannon going to the?
No.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
No, I didn't. Cannon wouldn't because there's going to be football on. So.
Oh, gotcha.
And I don't know if is he allowed to watch. This is a rated R movie.
Yeah,
It's pretty fucking rated
Yeah,
R.
we haven't been restrictive on. I mean, he watches all that kind of stuff, but yeah. we don't-
Rocco's going.
Oh yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, because Panda will be there. I'll be there. And, like, that's just.
I told the because there are little kids in the movie, and I told their parents many times. I go, "This is an R-rated movie. You're okay with your kid being in this, attached to it, right?" Like, fuck yeah, Bert. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So
We hang with like parents.
we do. There's like 4 kids in this
Bad
movie.
parents recognize bad parents and, like, come with me.
Right.
Game
Let me
recognizes
show you.
game.
Yeah. We all make each other feel better. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Well, we got one more day, and then the weekend is here. Beautiful stuff.
Woohoo!
Thank y'all for being here. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thanks, Caitlin.